Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. I thought tomorrow's Thursday and then Friday. I've got some weird stuff going on sort of this weekend, guys. So my parents are actually going to be gone. I think they're leaving on Friday night for like a weekend trip until Sunday, and so they will be gone. And so, you know, me and my dad normally going to the grocery stores on Friday nights and then on to Jewel and Walgreens on Saturday. I don't know if that's gonna wind up happening. So like, I mean, it can't. Matthew would have to take me, and I'm not sure when that's gonna wind up happening. So, yeah, I'm not totally sure too, because the other thing is that we probably can't do any real big grocery shopping trip because we only have the Bug and not like the big SUV where we can haul the food and all that kind of stuff. So it feels like like I said, it's gonna be a little bit of a interesting weekend, sort of. Like, I don't know when we have stuff planned out as to when we're gonna go and all of those type of things. So as far as when I'm gonna have a haul video for you guys, I don't really know. Like, I don't even know if we maybe just like wind up skipping this weekend or something, and don't wind up doing the grocery shopping. But like, my dad told me about it earlier, but then I forgot about it. Didn't really end up crossing my mind. It sort of stinks because we sort of have had a little bit of a routine sort of going on and everything like that. But yeah, like I said, I don't totally know. It didn't look like there was a whole ton really going on at Valley Produce, and honestly really not a whole lot at Jewel either. Like, I'm actually quite surprised. So I don't know, like I said, if we're gonna wind up going. Me and Matthew will wind up going. The cool thing is that Jack also has his permit, so he can actually drive too if we decided we were gonna go somewhere or go and do something or whatever. But the weird thing is that Jack has not actually driven the Bug at all. So, and that's the car that we have, so he doesn't have the SUV. So I don't know if he's gonna, like, obviously it's smaller, so I feel like, at least for me, like, I drove that, so it was easier to like drive. And like, I feel like the SUV is way bigger. Like, it's more, like I said, it's not as compact, so you have to worry about like backing up and, you know, doing all those type of things. I guess though he has driven in the what's it called, the like driver's ed car, because they do have like driver's ed class where like they go out driving, you know, with another student or whatever it is. And so he, like I was saying, you know, he can do all of that and all that kind of stuff. You know, that he's been in another car, so he's familiarized himself, I guess, with it. But like, Matthew has had the Bug with him, so like I said, it's a smaller car, like, you know, and lower to the ground and everything like that, whereas the SUV is like pretty, you know, like I said, much taller. So yeah, guys, like I said, it's gonna be interesting this weekend too. Like, I was like, what are we gonna do? Like, you know, like, my parents are gonna be here. This is actually gonna be the first weekend that Matthew's actually back for summer vacation, because he didn't come home until Sunday of last week, or he came home Saturday night, but like went straight to bed when he got home, because he got home sort of late. And even though he was off last week, though, I told you guys he ended up going to Florida and everything. So like, now that he's officially back for like summer vacation, it's like, oh, this is the first weekend he's here. Now my parents are going to be gone, so it's like we haven't been able to really do anything like family wise or anything like that, or like, oh hey, now that everybody's here, we can try and get some projects done over the weekends and stuff like that. Like, we haven't really been able to, because not everybody's actually been home. So and won't be home for next weekend. So anyways, I ended up actually not getting to a whole ton of stuff today. It was funny because my mom were actually looking something up today and spent a huge whole long time during the day actually looking up this stuff. And so yeah, I ended up not really getting to as much done as I wanted to today, but I ended up helping my mom with something that was actually sort of interesting, that I think we actually might need to get taken care of, because yeah, it was a whole big long thing. But then as we started researching more and more, we were like, this just doesn't seem like right. Like, so yeah, like, that was a whole long story, but we ended up spending a whole lot of the day today, like I said, sort of researching and doing all that stuff. So I didn't end up really editing anything or uploading, which I don't think I have anything edited to actually upload Didn't really get to laundry or dishes, and yeah, not too much. But actually, because we ended up grilling for dinner tonight, so that was the other thing though. Me and my mom were also waiting for my dad to come home, and he ended up coming home late because he had to stop at CVS to actually get my mom a prescription. And on top of that too, I told you guys how yesterday we were gonna grill hamburgers, and I realized that I forgot to get buns at Aldi. And so my dad actually stopped to grab buns at CVS when we went and picked up the, or when he went and picked up my mom's prescription also. So, we had hamburger buns for dinner to go with hamburgers, and I had corn that was left over from Jewel last week. So anyways, we ended up, like I said, working it all out, and we had the watermelon too, so we did sort of like a summery, you know, grilling sort of, because it's actually nice outside today. It was like finally like 60s, which is actually pretty nice. Like, it was still a little cool, but it was nicer than it has been. So, and it's supposed to be a little bit nicer tomorrow as well. But while my dad was actually grilling, I was out in the backyard pulling out some more dandelions, because after Jack, or my dad, I guess, went over with the lawnmower in the backyard, it was sort of hard to tell where all the dandelions were, because they were either like, you know, sort of spread out, and or they got knocked over or chopped down from the lawnmower. But now that they've all like sort of perked up again, it was easier to find some of the ones that I had missed when I did it on Monday or Sunday or Saturday, whenever I was doing it. And so I ended up doing it again today, guys, and oh my goodness, it is like, I didn't end up doing it for quite as much time today, and I feel like because I had done it already, I was a little bit like, I worked out a little bit some of those muscles, because there's actually no handle on the top of the like dandelion puller sort of stick thing that we have, because it's not like a little handheld one, it's like a whole stick. And because of that, it doesn't have like a handle where you can press it into the ground, but you have to get it into the ground. I didn't realize how much it actually was working my core, and for like the first day right after I did it, I sat up to hit my alarm clock and was like, oh my gosh, I can't even move. Like, that was how bad it was. And today, as I was doing it again, I didn't realize that that was what the muscle was working out while you're like pushing the thing down into the ground, sort of, was actually like core muscle. And I was like, that's really weird. I don't know. It was just like, I didn't notice that, like I said, that was what muscle was being worked out or anything like that. So, yeah, it was interesting. But like that, and then also my arm was sort of sore too that day after. And today I was working that out, and like I said, it didn't, like, I don't feel really sore or anything like that, because I didn't, like I said, do it as long. And then also too, I was a little bit, you know, like accustomed to it, I guess, because I had worked out just a little bit, and like I said, worked out some of those muscles, so it wasn't quite as painful doing it the second time. But it is definitely, like I said, a workout to use that thing, which I didn't really think it was, because it's supposed to be easier, I think, than the handheld one. But I guess really not. But it does, I think it has more leverage a little bit than just using the handheld one. But I went around the whole backyard, and guys, oh my goodness, the backyard looks so much nicer than it did. Like I said, probably right before we mowed the lawn on Saturday. I think my dad did mow the lawn on Saturday. And so like before that, like half of the yard was covered in dandelions. There's like every like once in a while you'll see like one little like, you know, dandelion there, but it's like nothing compared to what it was. The front yard still has a lot of dandelions right now because of, you know, we just put the weed and feed down, but I was telling you guys, because the dogs go in the backyard, they really like to eat the grass. We do not want to put any chemicals in the backyard at all. And we also don't do it on the side yard either, or really like close to it where our garden beds are, like our vegetable gardens. It's just sort of like in the front yard on the lawn, especially on the parkway, because it is a huge pain to try and maintain the parkway, like period, because we also can't like get a hose out there either, because our hose doesn't stretch far enough. So like in the drought like we've had over the last summer, which wasn't really a drought, but it was just sort of like, you know, we get like a little bit of rain, but it wasn't really enough to sustain the grass, so some of the grass started to turn brown. But like we couldn't get the hose all the way out to the street, so it was sort of a pain. And like I said, we don't do a whole ton of lawn care really out there, but like I said, we'll put some of that stuff down out there because it looks really bad, like when that's like the first part of the house, and then we have these really nice flower beds and everything, but like our whole entire lawn is filled with dandelions. But like I said, the backyard I pretty much weeded all by hand, and it actually looks pretty nice. And on top of that too, all of the really nasty weeds that were right next to the flower bed next to our garage, I hand pulled all of those out on Saturday, and we put all fresh grass seed down. Like I pretty much just dug everything up there and then put all fresh grass seed down so that it will hopefully take over and no weeds will, and also try and maintain it a little bit. But I will be really happy if all of that grass comes in really nice and we can keep all of the weeds out of that area. Again, because it was just sort of like, I think reduced the size of the garden bed a little bit, and there were still weeds from when that garden bed was totally taken over, but because all the plants have taken over, but the grass hasn't, like, the plants have taken over in the flower bed, but the grass hasn't taken over in the actual lawn where we like divided it. It was all just like still weeds in there, and none of this stuff was really going away. So I had to, like I said, pretty much manually pull all that stuff out, but it does look a lot nicer. The really big project that we are going to have is going to wind up being where our old play set used to be. Like we had a swing set, and my parents put down like tarp, or like, I don't know what's it called, like the plastic, and then they had wood chips over the whole area. And the wood chips have now, like, this was when I was little, so the wood chips are pretty much all decomposed, but not really that much. So there's a lot of places where the plastic has not actually been pulled up, but I don't think that it's deep enough either that the grass seed can like take root deep enough either. So I think we really should do, because in that whole section is pretty almost nothing but weeds. Like the grass is starting to creep in there, but what I think we really need to do is just rip up pretty much everything that is in the entire spot there, and just like replant all the grass seed and just pretty much start from scratch in that whole section, or even do like what's that called, like the mesh stuff, not like brand new sod, but like doing like they have like that mesh sort of like grass seed stuff that you can put down instead of just doing hand like grass seed, that's supposed to seed better. Because like the same thing happened with our neighbors across the street. They had a tree that they got taken down a handful of years ago, and I remember like for like almost the entire summer they kept like going out there like trying to do it by hand like grass seed, and finally they just got like the mesh stuff to put down and the grass came right up. It was like perfect. So I was like, that's probably what we need there, because like it's just been really bad, and like no matter what we're really doing, nothing's helping that much. But a lot of it was dandelions. I pulled a lot of that out, so like I said, by hand. So I did do some work today. Got all that done. Like I said, got a little workout in, got some actual gardening in, but yeah. So I do have some stuff I have to get to tomorrow, some errands I actually have to go and run with my mom too. So like I said, I don't totally know what I'm going to be able to get to tomorrow either, because that's probably going to be during the day, or early afternoon. So anyways, yeah. We'll see you guys though all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see y'all very soon, shiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.